If you've ever been through an identity crisis, it can feel pretty hopeless. Or maybe you're just not feeling very good about where you're at in life. Well, I've been through something kind of like that. What if we're actually grading ourselves on the wrong things though? I read this article in Psychology Today and it said this. It said, unhitch your identity from what you do. That was a problem I was really familiar with. So like 9 years ago, I moved down to Austin, Texas because I wanted to be a rock musician. That was like my big dream in life. So I sold a bunch of stuff I owned so I could make this trip down there. I moved halfway across the country, away from my family, away from somebody I was in a significant relationship with. So bottom line is, I gave up a lot of big things to try to, pursue this dream. And I got down there and I was down there by myself in a big unknown city. Started to meet some musicians, started to get some paying gigs, and just when it seemed like things were starting to pick up, I paralyzed my right vocal cord after a show. It was pretty devastating. So I went to a specialist, and they told me, well, it might get better, but it might never get better. I waited around a little bit, but I'd go to McDonald's and I couldn't even order something off the menu without paying because I couldn't talk over the noise of other people just in a restaurant. So I couldn't hang out with my friends, they were all out doing cool stuff. I was stuck. So I went for a walk one day and it'd been probably a year since the injury, it still hadn't gotten better. And I thought to myself, if I can't make music anymore, I'm nothing. I don't know who I am without my voice. I knew that there was something wrong with that kind of thinking, like something wasn't quite right, because deep down, I knew I was more valuable than the music I make, but I didn't feel that way. But this sounded like, okay, I'm really at a point for my own health that I need to transfer my identity off of what I do and onto something else. But what is that? That sounded to me like a spiritual question. So I dug out this book that my brother had given me like 5 or 6 years before. It was called The Case for Christ. And I started reading that because I thought, okay, there's 2 paths here. One of them is I'm graded on what I accomplish, what I do. And there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of high stakes there. Life, it can be random sometimes. Things don't always go the way you want. That seems like kind of an unreliable way to think about myself. Seems a little potentially hopeless. But over here, if there's a God who created us, who loves us, kind of like a father loves his own kids, and wants us to be a part of his family, if that's our identity and our identity is somewhere over there, then it doesn't really matter if I don't accomplish what I want to do with music. It doesn't matter if I can't talk anymore. I'm still valuable. There seemed to be a lot of freedom in this route over here, so I wanted to know if that was true or not. So that's why I read that book, The Case for Christ, because I want to know, okay, is there a God? Is there evidence for that? Who is that God and who is Jesus? And that was kind of a significant milestone in my own spiritual journey. I'm not saying it's easy, like I still have to wrestle through some things at times, but that was a turning point for me in my own identity. So if you haven't investigated that question yet, who are you? How are you grading yourself? I think it's something that we all need to take a look at. It's really tempting to grade ourselves on the things that we accomplish and things we do. But what if there's some other way to grade ourselves that is unchanging? What if we don't really have to accomplish these things to be valuable? What if this is who we are? I think that is the road to hope.